Okay, guys, sorry about the interruption. Something just came up, so here's part 2 of this video. Okay, as we were coming back and on subject, why we've chosen Legend of Zelda. Basically, I really have never been really intrigued with Zelda games before. The first one that started getting me more interested was the remaster of Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 3DS. That started to spark my interest. Then, after seeing the trailer for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, that is what really took the cake. It's just something that you don't see so often. I mean, if you see the world of Hyrule has been completely expanded, which I think is a really good idea. The game may have took 4 years to develop, but that 4 years sure pays off. Because this is a very, very expansive world for Zelda. I mean, even if it is being launched on the Wii U, the Wii U major people that adopted it are going to get that instead of buying the Switch at first. Because, I mean, there's going to be no incentive at first. Even if it's going to run better on the Switch and going to have better graphics. Some people just won't buy it. But do I think that's game over for some people? No. With some of the new releases and with the chances of the virtual consoles, is going to be a really good option. If you look at it, things can really either go really good for the Switch, or things can go absolutely horrible and then go down the crapshoot again. Do I want to see Nintendo fail? No, I do not. As right now, I play Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and PC gaming, and I love the experience. I'm getting into console gaming more and more again, because PC gaming can only go so far. The graphics are beautiful, but then again, what's the fun when just being able to plug and play? A game console is there for you. A game console is something that you just expect to work throughout its life and be able to play direct games that are specialized for that piece of hardware. With that, why would you do a computer when the consoles are so much cheaper? Sometimes you can build a low-end gaming computer and it can run things just fine. So say if you would build a low-end gaming computer and run GTA, you might be lucky to get 60 FPS or greater, depending on the graphics card you chose. But with the video game consoles, they choose everything thinking of you. They want you, the consumer, to be able to play and be happy and continue buying their product. Because without you, no company would be able to stay afloat. If you guys agree with anything I'm saying, please leave a comment and a like on this video because I would really appreciate the support, because I will be bashed by the major fanboys, say from Microsoft, that's gonna say, well, the graphics are so poor. Well, it's gonna be RIP again. Rip Nintendo. Not nice knowing you. Then you're gonna have your Sony fanboys that are basically gonna be like, Xbox One and now the Wii U sucks behind it. Sounds like Wii U all over again. No matter what anyone says, it's all in the eye of the viewer. Fanboys are gonna criticize. It's just like between AMD and Intel. You think you're gonna win a fight with fanboys? No. Fanboys will tell you to go kill yourself. They don't care. They only know what they know, and they only know what they want to know. You can tell them the straight up facts, and will they listen to you? Maybe. Will they remember what you said? No. They will pretend to listen, but they won't. If you look at it, fanboys are kind of like politicians. They get appointed, they try listening, but in the end, do they listen? No. That's why us as the consumer, we have to be completely honest with these companies. Do you want to see something fail? Because if you look on how things are, PlayStation 4 Pro, it's a powerful console, but are people adopting it? Some are, but is the adoption rate major? No, because the only more factor that it has is it can play 4K. Same with the Xbox One S. And who knows with the Xbox Scorpio? Maybe it's going to be a next gen console that's going to be ahead of Sony for once. We have no clue on this. But we can't count the Switch out, even in docked mode. Because if you think about it, if the dock has the GPU in it, that helps boost. What happens if we'd have an add-on? So say they gave you a 1060M in the dock, and say you had to pay $150 for the dock. Would you rather pay a little additional to add on and just get a different dock? Or would you want to spend the same amount of money for a console that does the exact same thing, that just does 4K? Leave me comments and see what you think of my content and on what I'm saying, because truly, I want to be more user-centric. I want to be able to give information you guys want. I want to understand what your philosophy on thinking is. Because without that, how can I deliver proper content for everyone? Because everyone's senses are different. No matter we may breathe the same way, it still doesn't matter because everyone's brains wire differently, so everyone behaves and thinks differently. One of the major things I think the Switch will have for it is once Pokemon would be released. It is confirmed that there will be a Pokemon on the Switch. If you look at the updated release timeline for the games, it is confirmed. We don't know when, it just says sometime in 2017. So hopefully, maybe that can be Pokemon Stars, or whatever in heck they're gonna call it. Game Freak will know what to do it because Game Freak they really take games very seriously. If you look at it, with being able to utilize everything that the Switch has, they're gonna make a Pokemon game like there hasn't been before. Which I feel like that will help them more in the long run. Do I think the Nintendo 3DS should be killed off? That is a tough decision. Because I myself have a Nintendo 3DS. I don't have the newer one, and I don't have the XL. I don't have the remakes of it. I have the original. I have the Legend of Zelda Limited Edition Ocarina of Time 3D Edition. And do I love that console? Yes. Do I think it's a bit underpowered and the screen kind of looks like crap? Yeah. But it's good for a console. It's accessible. If you see how things are, handhelds aren't so hot in America anymore. But if you look at Japan, they want something that's mobile. So even though some of it might not make sense to some of us on how the Switch is, in Japan, it makes all kinds of sense. I think it'd be cool to have a whole bunch of buddies together. Say, you're going on a trip, and you have a few people in the car. If you have some Joy-Cons, well, split them up. Maybe you can play some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Or maybe you will play some Virtual Console games. Perhaps we'll get GameCube this time around, or maybe we can get Nintendo 64. I feel like, depending on if the Switch will succeed, is going to depend on Nintendo being able to deliver third-party content. That is a major one, because there's no console that can drive off only first-party. That's what the Wii U tried doing. Its promises weren't kept. It died very, very fast, and it was painful with how promising everything was. it just didn't work. So Nintendo says they've learned their mistake from what happened with the Wii U. So all we can do is believe them and see how things go from March 3rd on. I believe the first month for sales will be excellent for the Switch. But when we go into April, and with those launch titles in April, we just gotta see. Will the Switch keep its momentum? Because majority of people have a Switch the March 3rd if you pre-ordered. Because you're gonna have your early adopters no matter what. They're gonna be good for your sales revenue. But it's just gonna be how things go in and how stock is. Because truly, you can have the best console and the best games, but if no one's able to buy them, no one's gonna buy any of your other stuff. And if people don't buy your other stuff, you have very, very unhappy companies. And with the ability of video sharing with the Switch eventually, maybe Nintendo will loosen up on their grasp on YouTube and let us actually have our videos up. Because if we do that, we give them free publicity and they basically get people to sell games. Because if we're able to help them without the partnership program, that's going to be Nintendo's little way. Because they don't have to pay. They really don't have to pay us to make videos and talk good about it. Because if a game is like crap, someone's going to say it. If someone likes a game, they're going to say it. There's no way to stop someone that's really thinking about certain things. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for future content. And just as is mentioned in the comment, in the little info box, if we can get a certain amount of subscribers or likes, I will order a PlayStation Vita directly from Japan, open it, and review it. Because I feel like I might like the Vita, and I want to hear what you guys think about it. Would you guys like to see a video with me unboxing a Vita and getting certain games and reviewing things? If so, if we can get up to 20 likes on this video, I will do that. Well, until next time, guys, this is your host, Alex. We are signing off.